Welcome back to Horrific Horror Review. I'm Jim King.
I'm Doc Scavenger
Scav.
with King Cannibal and the Morning Zoo. I'm just kidding. I hate those motherfucking guys. I'm Eric Bonifield.
What are we talking about today?
My giant monsters.
Your giant monsters.
Giant monsters, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like giant monsters. I can't remember what the first giant monster movie I ever saw was. But I think it was Jeff Bridges' King Kong in 1976, 1978.
Somewhere around there, I'm guessing.
Somewhere in there. With Jessica Lange.
Jessica Hahn?
Jessica Lange, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, that was like her coming out movie. You know, like, yeah, it was like her first movie, introducing Jessica Lange, But I'm pretty sure that's my first giant monster movie.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Like none of the bad Godzillas even? Or...
Well, I mean, you figure it was made in 1970-something, and I was born in 78.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was definitely, on TV by the time
Right.
I was a little kid. I'm pretty sure that was it. I remember having serious fucking nightmares
Really?
about King Kong.
Really?
Dude, there's something about,
It was a good-looking King Kong for the time.
It was for the time. Fucking awesome-looking Kong, dude.
Right.
The scene where he fights that giant snake is really cool.
Very cool.
But when they're off the island, they get Kong off the island, they get him back to New York, right?
Right.
He escapes and shit. Somehow Jeff Bridges ends up back with Jessica Lange, and they're in a bar, one of like a Cheers type.
The basement bars?
Basement bar, right?
Mm.
And he puts a mink coat on her or something.
Right.
It's sick because the bar is empty because everybody split
Skedaddled.
because fucking Kong.
Yeah. He's climbing buildings and splatting planes.
And he's pouring a fucking drink for her, and Kong's looking in the window at her, sitting there at this bar, and that image
Fucking creeps you out,
dude. Gave me I had nightmares about Kong chasing me around this dark neighborhood of alleys and shit, and how are you gonna escape something like that, man?
You're not. His footsteps would put him ahead of you or behind you.
Yeah.
It would be horrible.
And I watched The Incredible Shrinking Man around the same time, which is another disturbing. Everything around me's giant and trying to kill me story. So I remember having these reoccurring nightmares about not necessarily being tiny, but everything being giant and trying to fucking get Land of the Giants is another. Remember that TV show?
Yeah.
I watched that in reruns and shit, and I remember that idea of being a tiny thing surrounded by giant things that want to fucking get me definitely had a big fucking
Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was a fun movie, and it definitely made it less scary.
Still, ants looked pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, but it made it seem more fun. It was it'd be
them?
more fun. Yeah, because they were riding the bugs and supposed to fleeing from them.
Right.
What was the big threat in that movie? Wasn't there a scorpion or something?
Maybe, I think. Maybe.
Wasn't there? Spider, maybe? I
remember something with mandibles.
I don't think it was a spider. I think it was a fucking scorpion. Maybe. Something kills the ant.
Or a sprinkler. Or
their
a
buddy ant.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sad part.
Yeah, I can't remember
anyway.
Well. But,
so King Kong, that was the first one for you?
King Kong, man. It was Dino De Laurentiis, I think, right? It had something to do with it, I think. And
Presents.
it was a really cool remake, dude. It was a really cool remake. They had a lot of the same scenes.
They did.
It wasn't a shot-for-shot remake the way Peter Jackson's was. And again, his wasn't a shot-for-shot.
Right.
But almost every scene you see in the original Kong, you see in Peter Jackson's,
Right.
and then some. You know what I mean? But the scene where they're crossing the log is touched upon in the Jeff Bridges remake, and which is terrifying. The idea of crossing that log, and then all over this chasm, you know, and then all of a sudden you look up, and there's this giant Kong dick, and this dude just standing there, breathing heavy, like you're not coming this way,
right?
You know. And then, oh my god,
I love the original.
Train. Fuck.
I really liked Skull Island.
What from the original King Kong?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Jack Black, Naomi Watts, Adrian.
I like some of the monsters and stuff were kind of cool.
They were cool,
but
I like the original and I like Skull Island as far as King Kong goes. I thought Skull Island did a great job with the monsters.
Oh, when you say I like Skull Island, you're not talking about like I like Skull Island. You're talking about the movie.
I'm talking about King Kong, yeah.
You're talking about Kong.
Kong, yeah.
Kong hyphen Skull Island.
Yes.
The one with Sam Jackson and shit.
Yes.
You really like that movie?
I did. I liked it.
A lot of really cool creatures, man.
Dude, right?
I like that bamboo-like spider with the weird...
Up in the trees.
Oh, my fuck. He was the trees.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
That was really cool.
That was gnarly. Spiders...
I don't do spiders.
I don't do them either. And again, the Incredible Shrinking Man. The fight he has with that spider with the nail. Fuck you and the black blood gooing down on him.
Right.
If you've never seen The Incredible Shrinking Man, I definitely suggest watching that. It's a tense movie.
So that's what got you started into
Kong, man.
Big
Kong.
Monsters.
Kong. And then, Godzilla was followed shortly thereafter. Like within weeks, and I can't remember what. Oh, it was King Kong versus Godzilla. I'm pretty sure
the first one you saw
was the first Godzilla I saw. Yeah. What a fucked up, fucking weird fucking movie. Because Kong is just a big ape.
Yeah.
And Godzilla, has these powers. And shit. And they had to amp up Kong in some way. So they gave him this weird electricity power. Like he gets hit by lightning and it amps him up like Frankenstein's monster. And where he can grab Godzilla, wherever he grabs Godzilla, it's like bzz, it's like tasing him, That was weird.
He became a conduit.
Yeah, he became a fucking battery. But, yeah, I really liked King Kong versus Godzilla as a kid. I liked it a lot. I like it a lot as an adult, too. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's, it's always weird, those Japanese movies, those Toho movies especially, when they're the American version of their film.
Yeah.
Where they'll splice in a bunch of Caucasian actors,
right, and
kind of change the story around a little bit.
Dubbing's horrible.
Yeah, but that's part of its charm.
It is.
It is. But it's in this one, Kong. There's two versions. There's two endings. The Japanese ending, Godzilla wins. The American ending, Kong wins. I've never seen the Japanese ending. I have never seen it. I would love to see it. I don't even know if they even changed the footage. I think it might just be they might just change what they say. Oh, Kong won because they both kind of just disappear under the waves. You know what I mean? It's like
beat the shit out of each other.
So, I don't know. I have yet to see it, so I have nothing to compare it to. But what else? What do you like? You said you like.
I got a list of monsters.
Are they minor? When we're talking monsters. Giant monsters.
Okay, my favorite, and I'm gonna call it giant, even though it's not as big as a city. I guess
if it's big, I'll take. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna change it.
No,
I'm gonna go with my number one. It's not a horror movie though. We said monster, so I'm going with it anyway.
Go ahead.
I really like the dinosaur representation of the Jurassic Park movies.
I call those giant monster movies.
Right? For me, it is.
A dinosaur is a giant monster.
Right? Like, the little raptors are terrifying. The T-Rex, obviously, terrifying.
Dude.
And the last one, the one that came up out of the water, fuck, Jesus Christ, huge. The pterodactyls, just flying and swarming at me.
You talk like Jurassic World?
Yeah, I'm talking about all of them in a nutshell. Those are big monsters that they're in my list of favorites. Even though they're not like supernatural or from space or anything.
They don't have to be, dude. The planet Earth has been populated,
all relatively believable
by giant monsters. Up until recently.
Do you have an envelope of Pop Rocks right there?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you get Pop Rocks?
Country Market.
No shit. And the whole bag at once, right?
I'm trying to get in a character.
There we go. You need Pop Rocks.
Well, think about it. I was thinking about this today.
Okay. I need some licorice, I guess.
I was like, the closest I can get to, like, what would it be like to be Godzilla with a mouth full of people?
Pop Rocks.
This is probably as close as I'll ever get.
Maybe so.
Like the popping and the fucking...
Yeah.
Imagine. Like,
it's got some crunch.
25 people. Like 25 Japanese people in your mouth. And they're all fighting and, like, stumbling on each other.
So what do you think about Rampage?
Well...
That was my favorite video game. You grab people out of the side of a building and eat them.
Okay. I loved the video game as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
Who didn't?
Right? It was good times.
One of the few video games from our childhood where you could play the bad guy.
Right? Eating the soldiers.
You're eating the soldiers.
Eating people right out of the building.
Eating chicks out of the shower and shit.
Right.
Fucking wild game, dude. Just wrecking the city.
So you've seen the trailer, right?
All right. I'm just not into it.
Easy answer.
I saw the trailer, and I just wasn't into it, man.
I didn't get excited about it like I wanted to.
When I heard about it, super excited.
I was expecting, a CGI fest, like it is. I'm sure, but I don't know. The trailer didn't sell me like a lot.
When I first heard about it, I was so fucking excited, man. I was like, Rampage, they're making fucking Rampage.
But were you wondering what it was going to be? Because, for me, if it was just an all-out onslaught of those giant monsters actually tearing down buildings and fighting the military, that would have been great.
That would have been enough for me.
Me too. Putting a plot and a story and a love story was too much for me, but...
Well, you knew they were gonna fucking do that.
Well, of course. But...
Dwayne Johnson's gotta get his fucking his story in there. His lame story. Dwayne,
he's gonna end up being our president.
I appreciate that you're a really positive guy.
Right. And
you're like, you do a lot of good things, but fuck, he can be so boring. Like, fuck, man. Some of the shit he does is so fucking boring, man. And they're these big, awesome spectacles, and I guess kids like them. I guess they do. I haven't asked a kid recently, like, hey, what do you think of Jumanji? I don't know. I know I didn't like it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
You did?
I did. My girlfriend rented it on Netflix. I don't really like the first one.
I love the first one.
Do you?
I thought it was cool.
A lot of people do.
I like the idea behind it. I like that story.
I have to admit, I like that they changed it from a board game to a video game.
Did they?
They changed it to suit the people who are going to play the game. Sure. They were like, we're not going to fucking play this.
Yeah, you pull out a board game.
But then it turned into an old 64 looking thing.
Nice.
And they're like, it was still old, like it was still vintage.
Right. It wasn't a disc.
I don't even think. I think it might have even been pre-64, looking like almost like an old Atari looking thing.
Fucking cartridge.
Yeah.
Cartridge looking thing.
But,
So still old school, but still a video game. Because kids today will play a retro game just to say they did and buy the T-shirt.
There are lots of kids who are into the whole retro gaming thing. The kids that refer to themselves as gamers. Hey, so be it.
So I'll tell you one that scared me in real life.
Okay.
That I consider to be a big monster.
Yeah.
We've talked about Jaws a lot. That was my first.
Well,
that was my first horror movie. That was my first monster movie.
It's a giant monster.
But another one that we've never talked about, and it was very believable to me for where I grew up.
Yeah.
Orca.
Oh man, Orca's one of my favorite movies.
I really like that movie.
I wouldn't have called Orca a giant monster movie, but it is a giant monster movie.
Terrifying.
It's not in the Godzilla sense, but definitely in the Jaws sense.
If you're in the water,
it's a big ass fucking giant monster. Right. If that thing wants a piece of you, it's
if you kill its baby.
Yes. Orca starred. What was his name? It wasn't Peter O'Toole. It was. I don't know. I should know his name. He's a great Irish actor. He's really good. It's about a fisherman who wants to catch. Check this out. My grandfather read me Orca out loud from the Reader's Digest when I was like,
really
4.
Yeah, you'd have to be around that,
dude.
I saw that movie young. I was 10 something.
And I remember seeing the movie and being like, this is just like that fucking story my grandfather read me, like, and realizing like years later, like, it was. It was exactly that story. Because I remember the part where the male killer whale is like holding up his dying like whale wife, and like he's like holding her up so she can breathe. Otherwise she would just sink and fucking drown. And it was for quite a few pages in the book. It tells the story from the whale's point of view. And it's just heartbreaking. It's like
you can tell they tried to capture a little bit of that in the movie too. Like
they did a good job.
When they showed,
they did a good job.
They showed the male looking up out of the water and actually focused in on his eye while he saw his like wife up on the deck of the boat. The baby,
it was like the psycho moment.
The fucking baby came out.
Yeah,
and it was like, oh my god, it was sad as fuck. And then it was like they showed the deep in his eyes, like you're all fucked. Some
fucking fisherman wants to catch a killer whale and sell it to like SeaWorld. And it backfires, and this thing ends up like getting caught in the propeller and shit, and spontaneously aborts, the baby it's carrying, and the fucking father flips out and like marks this crew.
Fuck yeah, it's on from
you
there on.
Fuckers are done,
right? It's
And lucky for him, he has a house half on the water. Asshole.
Lucky for him.
Yeah. I love Orca. I do. It's a really good movie.
So what about you? I know you got lists of like actual monsters. Mine aren't actual monsters.
Well,
really. I only got a few actual
I gotta
monsters.
fucking adjust my balls.
One of them's the one you made me watch recently.
What?
The Host.
Host.
I don't know if it's The Host or just Host.
I think it's The Host.
It's that Korean movie. That had a monster.
Fucking cool.
Fucking cool monster.
Cool movie. I like The Host a lot.
I mean, too. Korean good time.
You know what I fucking was watching last night and today that I like it that much? Okay. It's The Last Dinosaur.
This is the link you sent me, right?
1977, The Last Dinosaur.
Break it down.
Starring Richard Boone.
Okay.
So check this out. Richard Boone is this terrible alcoholic actor, was in a lot of Westerns. He's one of those guys, when you look at his face, you see like his nose is like that huge, exploding chin blossom nose, and his cheeks are all swollen and sagging, and he looks bad, and he's angry. He's an angry drunk, and
Fun.
he's playing,
himself.
Yeah, I don't think he can do anything else at this point. Even if he... Give me sad, Richard. I am! He's just a mean guy. And it kicks off, so Richard Boone plays billionaire industrialist Maston Thrust.
That's a porno name if I ever heard
Maston Thrust. Right? And he's a big game hunter / industrialist. He owns all kinds of shit.
Okay. To fund his big game hunting? Is
that
his passion?
His big game hunting is his passion, yeah. He just, but he has this company that has discovered oil in the Arctic. And they have what they call the polar borer, which is basically like a tank-sized bullet with a drill bit thing on the front, right? Okay. People get in it and they drill through the earth.
I had that Matchbox car, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I had the GoBot. And
goddamn GoBots.
They end up finding like a tropical little area, like the land that time forgot, basically.
Okay. In a pocket inside?
In a pocket in like a old volcano crater. That's like Yellowstone type crater that's like keeping this area warm.
Okay.
And it's full of dinosaurs and cavemen and shit. It's savage land type shit. And
cavemen too.
Humans too.
Okay.
Humans too.
You don't see that all the time.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You don't.
It's a nice twist.
But
is there a hot girl that
yes
to get with?
Yeah, of course.
Cave woman girl.
Yes,
of course.
I
know this story.
It's not a hard story. He basically wants to hunt a T-Rex. Is what it boils down to. He's got this like African lion hunter guy called Bunta, who's with him. He's always got the spear.
Guide guy. I got you. He's always one of
and
those.
then there's like a Japanese scientist, an American biologist or paleontologist or some shit, and then this hot blonde chick.
So
photographer.
Did they know they were setting out to go to this place then?
Yes, because they'd already found it.
Okay.
So he's going
back to big game hunting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And all these people are coming with because they want to see this place as well and do whatever their specific trade is.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a half and half. Half this movie, it was a joint production venture between some really bad American film company and a Japanese monster movie company. All of the American actor parts are filmed and done by the American company. All of the giant monster fucking dinosaur shit, guy in a suit shit, is done and filmed by the Japanese company.
Okay.
Super weird way of making a movie.
Yeah, right.
Like, they don't match up. It doesn't, you know what I mean? You're like, it looks like two different people made this fucking movie.
Interesting.
The fucking dinosaur fights and shit. The best dinosaur fight I've ever fucking seen in my fucking life is in this movie.
Really?
It is so fucking good.
Like, better than Jurassic Park fights?
Dude.
But just a different level, you mean?
What year are we talking? 1970? And you're comparing it to Jurassic
Park. Are these claymation?
Park.
What are we talking?
It's Japan, so it's guys in suits.
Guys in rubber suits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm down with that then. Okay.
The bloodiest fucking dinosaur fight you've ever seen.
Bloody? Really?
Oh, gory. Like, he guts this fucking the T-Rex guts this Triceratops, man.
Okay.
It's awesome.
So does our character get his T-Rex?
There is an awesome scene where he builds a giant catapult and sends this fucking boulder that, like, knocks this fucking T-Rex in the head, like, boom. But it doesn't do anything. It's like all this buildup. They think they're going to kill this thing, and it just knocks it in the head. And that's it. Like,
nice.
It was
not even a second shot.
Huge letdown. No, because,
So
It's
he
a
wasn't
T-Rex.
going home with that.
Nah. Well,
What was he hoping for? Was he
here's
going
the
to
thing.
go home with a T-Rex head?
Yes.
Like to mount on his wall?
Or at least the skin or
Wouldn't
something.
that be cool?
Or he'd just leave the bones and come back for him with another team or something. I don't know what his goal was, but his goal was to just kill it. But it ends with Mast and Thrust staying, like having them leave him behind. Like, and the rest of the crew goes back, and he's like, "Leave me here."
Okay.
He's the last dinosaur. Get it? Like, he's the
Yeah.
last, like, man's man, you know?
Right.
There is a fucking song, an opening sequence song,
Oh, boy.
that goes with this movie, like a James Bond song. They
Really?
incorporate The Last Dinosaur, the title of the movie, into the song. It's so
Some of those Bond songs are...
get real fucked up and watch this fucking movie. You will fucking laugh. It's so fun. It's the most fun. Like, it's not winning any fucking awards, man. But you will have so much fucking
The Last Dinosaur.
Watch it. Yeah, I sent you the link.
I got
Watch it tonight.
Check it out.
The Last Dinosaur. You'll have tons of fun. Get
Okay.
fucked up and watch The Last Dinosaur, and you won't regret it. You won't. I promise you.
So I'm gonna talk about the host.
Yeah,
Host.
please do. Because I know
'Cause
I've
you
talked
talked
about
me
it
into it.
before.
This monster, the idea of it was interesting. The movie opened up with a guy making another guy pour hundreds of bottles of formaldehyde down the sink in a morgue.
Yeah.
And the guy says straight up to him, "This is going to run right into our river, whatever." And guy doesn't give a fuck, tells him to do it anyway, whatever. So
It's an American.
yeah, absolutely,
A
of course it
Caucasian.
is. It is a Caucasian telling
Telling
an
a
Asian
Korean
man to do, or Korean dude, yeah.
To fuck up his
It was
environment.
really weird how that was damn near the only Caucasian actor in the movie.
The guy
The
telling
dumb
him
shit
to
that
fuck his
told
shit
them
up.
to fuck their place up, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because then when they're trying to remedy the problem, they have to go to Big Bad Evil America 2 to get this bioweapon gas to kill it anyway. But so you're led to believe in the movie that them infecting the river is what's created this creature. But it starts out with these guys fishing, and they see this little, it's almost like tadpole. It's cute. It's kind of cool. And then out of nowhere, this thing's crawling out of the river. It's you get the impression initially that it's eating people, but it's not. It's actually swallowing them, and then it's got like its own little den where it's puking them back up and saving them for later.
Right. So he does eventually eat them.
Yes, he does. Eventually, you think that he's coming to puke the next set of people,
Yeah.
and he pukes bones instead.
Damn.
And that's how you find out that he does actually eat them. Like,
Damn,
the
son.
little girl that's alive down in there, the main character's daughter that is alive, she keeps seeing it come and puking out more people. And she gets like another little kid that becomes her friend, and they're trying to hide from him. And other people, they're not waking up. Some of them died from shock or drowning or whatever during the process, but didn't get eaten.
Suffocated.
You know? And she's like hoping that the next person that gets puked out has a working cell phone. And it pukes out bones instead, and that's when she sees the urgency of we got to get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
And this monster, it's like part fish, part dragon looking, kind of almost. It's all black, and
It's very much a salamander.
That too, yeah, or a newt.
I get an
the way
amphibious feel.
Yeah, but it still had the fish tail. It's like a big fucking amphibian. I don't know.
It was. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was
Kimono
very
dragon.
amphibious.
But
very much.
I love how it hung like a bat underneath the bridge.
It was
and then
gnarly,
dropped
right?
down,
Yeah.
and would swing back and forth, and then it had like that 4 sets of mouths that looked super intimidating, and it looked like it would just eat you right up. It was
It was
pretty
a scary
crazy.
monster.
Yeah.
It was a good monster. I wouldn't want to tangle with that fucking thing.
It had good effects.
It was good
The
effects,
team
right?
that had to go back in.
I piss on computer-generated effects. I usually don't like them. Did a great job of this movie.
They did.
That was
There
good
was a
monster.
couple scenes where you see like the poor shadowing like in any movie that you do that kind of stuff. But it was a fun movie. I'm glad you suggested it. And I found it at Zia Records like $4 or some shit. So I figured I'd at least check it out, and ended up being really happy with it. And like I told you, the main character is a guy that I had seen in The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which is one of my all-time favorite Korean Western movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
There's
check
a million
that
of
out.
those, but it's super good. So yeah, you should check out The Host if you haven't. It's anything under $8, it's worth it.
Giant monster movies. There's a lot of them. I like a lot of them. You know what my favorite giant monster movie right now is? Like right now?
Like your current going?
Yeah.
Eric,
You know,
what's your favorite giant monster movie right now?
I'm glad you asked that. It's War of the Gargantuas.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
Dude, War of the Gargantuas is fucked up, man.
Okay.
It's a Toho movie, the people who make Godzilla.
Okay.
It's one of the guys, one of the Gargantuas, there's two of them, is actually the guy who's usually Godzilla.
Okay.
I forget his name. He's a legend.
Died recently.
Yeah, not too long ago, yeah.
He was a Mad Monster 2 years ago.
I can't talk about War of the Gargantuas without talking about Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Frankenstein Conquers, they're related.
Okay.
War of the Gargantuas is kind of like a loose, weird sequel to Frankenstein Conquers the World. Frankenstein Conquers the World is a really weird fucking movie. It's World War II. The Japanese, somehow the Germans got a hold of Frankenstein's monster's heart. All right?
Okay.
They submarine it over to Japan. And the Japanese use it. They're gonna.
I love it already.
They're gonna. I don't know. They're gonna build a super soldier and win this war. But they get
with Frankenstein's heart.
With Frankenstein's monster's heart. But they get bombed out. All right, and this heart just kind of ends up getting buried in a bunker.
Okay. Is it beating?
Of course, it's beating. It wouldn't be a monster movie if it wasn't beating. So, fast forward to the 1960s, this heart has grown a body around it. And it's huge. It's a massive heart. And it's regrown a Frankenstein body around it. And it's kind of like this big, goofy kid.
Okay.
He's like, he's got big buck teeth, and he's just kind of like, go, and it's definitely a Frankenstein story, kind of King Kong story, in that he falls for a girl. There's a girl who can kind of control him.
Right.
Right. It's getting dark,
Always
big guy.
is.
Sun's going down.
Right.
And
right.
he eventually, this giant Frankenstein's monster, Asian version of this giant Japanese version, grows super big, fights another monster that appears for some reason, and gets buried in a volcano, like blows up in a volcano out to sea. Now, pieces of that Frankenstein's monster grow into the Gargantuas. All right? They're pieces of this old Frankenstein monster.
Okay.
Just like in a piece, like a little, like a piece of skin or something. So they're not real similar to him. Okay. It's more like they took on the characteristics of the environment around them. You know what I'm saying?
Adapted.
Yeah, there's a water gargantua, there's one that lives in the ocean, and there's a forest gargantua. There's a green one and a brown one. Okay. And the brown one's more woodsy, the green one's more fishy, right? The good one is the forest gargantua.
Okay.
He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He just wants to mind his own fucking business, leave me alone in the fucking woods. Right. They're about Godzilla size, Okay. One really cool thing about this movie is the Gargantuas. Up until this point, all the giant monsters in the Toho movies moved kind of slow and lumbering, like bump, 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 bump.
Yeah, totally.
These guys were like running and shit. Like at times it looks like they speed up the film. Like they are moving, moving, dude. And just the thought of like something huge like that moving like
fast
at like quick man speed would freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, sure.
Not only that, but like just him hitting the ground like that, like dude, shit would just be falling apart. But eventually the green one gets like shot up by the army. The brown one, the good one, comes and saves him, like his brother. You know, he's like, come on, get the fuck out of here. He takes him to this spot in the woods. And he's like, you stay here, I'm going to go get you some food. I'm just going to kind of check things out, make sure we're safe. Comes back, sees all these clothes just kind of like laying on the ground. The fucking thing ate a bunch of people while he's gone, and he's just like, really? And he's looking at his brother like, and he's all like, kind of like Thanksgiving dinner, passed out, like, oh, his big gut and all these like shirts and shit kind of laying all over him. And I mean, they look like doll clothes, you know.
Right.
And his brother, the brown one, looks at the green one, the evil Gargantua, and the music's really good in this, man. And he's like, I'm gonna have to kill my brother. Like, he makes this decision, like, he's a piece of shit. And it's crazy. He takes a tree, breaks it off, and attempts to like jam it down dude's throat. Like, that's how I'm gonna take him out. Right. I'm gonna fucking
choke him.
I'm gonna choke fuck him with this fucking tree trunk down his throat. It's like, Jesus. And they go at it like for a good. The rest of the movie, they're fighting. You know, the next like 40 fucking minutes is this fight between these two, from the woods to the shore. You know, from the woods like Mount Fuji to the fucking beach,
all the way down to the water.
And it's cool, man. It's definitely become my favorite giant Japanese monster movie. It's worth watching. Or the Gargantuas. If you like silly shit like that, and it's kind of, it's cool. It's a fun watch, dude. Or the if you like Godzilla movies, old Godzilla movies, or the Gargantuas, you'll fucking love that shit. I like Gamera too.
Yeah?
Now, I know you don't like Gamera. You like Godzilla.
I do.
You prefer Godzilla over Gamera. See, I prefer Gamera over Godzilla. He's a giant fucking turtle, man.
He's pretty cool.
He's a giant turtle. And when he pulls his fucking arms in, fire shoots out of the holes and he spins like a fucking UFO.
He has a good turbo button.
How can you not love that?
It's cool.
Or better yet, well, it's not better, it's cooler when he spins, but he can pull his legs in and just shoot fire out of his leg holes and fly like fucking Superman, which looks really goofy.
Stupid.
And
it's stupid.
So fun. It's like you look like a dumbass, you know. But one cool thing about Gamera, the monsters he fights are fucking different, dude. They're fucking weird as fuck.
Asians are weird.
It's not just. You know, with Godzilla, the Japanese entertainment is fucking bizarre, sir.
Leave it alone.
I've watched Japanese TV. I love the bizarre. It's not an insult. I love the bizarre.
The weirdest game shows
Americans are way too boring, you know.
So
but
what about Shin Godzilla then?
Oh, I like Shin Godzilla. You know I like Shin Godzilla.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it. I did. I liked it a lot. I did. I liked it. It was.
I liked the transformation.
Mm-hmm. It was the most fun I'd had with a Godzilla movie in a long time.
I hated that Godzilla 2000, I want to say it was.
Which one was that?
It was just called Godzilla 2000. Like, it was the big blockbuster hit that they made Burger King cups out of and shit.
Matthew Broderick one?
Yeah. There you go. It was gonna lay eggs and
it did lay eggs, and it had a bunch of raptor babies
for the Knicks
at
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden, yeah.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not knowing.
What did you think of the new Godzilla movie, the one that came out a few years ago?
I liked it.
I liked that design.
I thought it was cool.
I thought that was a great redesign.
I'd really like to see it again. I went and saw it at the movie theater.
You haven't seen it at home yet?
I haven't seen it since, no.
I watched it at home maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Again, the thing that struck me the most was the creature design. They really redesigned that thing really fucking well. In a way that made sense.
Right?
You know, its legs were huge, which they would have to be.
To hold its
They'd
body
be the
weight.
biggest thing on him would be his legs, and they were.
especially to swim and everything else.
And I like that they gave him gills.
Me too.
That was like
realistic,
awesome.
Right.
You know, I liked his mouth and his teeth. I liked his face shape.
Little painter.
I liked the plates, the back plates,
right?
The ridges looked really good. Cool. They did a good job because those are iconic. His back is iconic, totally. Man. Like you can't fuck that up. Like you got to get that right. And they did a really good new like it looked like Godzilla.
It did, and it looked like a fan got a hold of it.
It didn't not look like Godzilla, like that Matthew Broderick one. That did not look anything like Godzilla. This looked like Godzilla. I like the sound he made. It was enough like the original. Cool. Yeah. What did you think about his size? Being so fucking much bigger than he's ever been. And like so big.
Like double.
Like quadruple. Like he is huge. I liked it too. I liked it too. I thought it was really cool. I don't know how Godzilla. I guess Godzilla's gonna, Kong. I guess Kong is just gonna take him on like he's a skyscraper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess Kong's just gonna be like climbing up him. You know what I mean? Like, I guess. Though I have a feeling towards the end of the movie, Kong and Godzilla will be teaming up. That's my prediction against King Ghidorah.
Oh, calling that, are you?
I am. Because the next Godzilla movie, if I'm not mistaken, I know for sure King Ghidorah's in it. The 3-headed dragon. Right. I know for sure Mothra's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
You're up on your geekdom.
Oh, I love Godzilla, man. Well, again, I love Gamera more. But I love Godzilla. I love Godzilla, bro. His world's the world of Godzilla is pretty cool. There's some really cool monsters in there. But like I was saying, the monsters from the world of Godzilla take on a more they're creatures from the natural world. Giant spiders, giant moths. Whereas the creatures from Gamera, you don't fucking find shit like that in nature. It's like hatchet-headed. Right. It's hatchet head. Fucking ones like, I think the closest they got, there was like a squid monster. It looked like a squid monster. That is Virus. Was it what it was called?
Really?
And that thing gave me fucking nightmares. For sure. I remember watching Gamera versus Virus in like 1982 at like 5:30 in the morning, like on a fucking Sunday. And, it's the house is empty. It's a different kind of creepy.
Right.
Everybody's asleep. The sun's kind of like there's a weird light to the room,
Orangey.
You're all alone. And, man, Virus was spooky as fuck, dude. Huh? It kind of fucking lit me up a little bit. I was looking around,
right?
Will someone fucking wake up?
Start making a little extra noise.
Yeah. But
one of the ones that popped in my head for big monsters when you said big, because immediately my first thought was, the Godzilla shit. And I was trying to look outside of the box of that at the same time, but think of big monsters. And one of the ones that I remember being really cool visually, like there's not a lot to it, but just visually cool big, was The Stand.
Was there a giant monster in The Stand?
Oh my god, at the end they were huge.
The Mist?
I'm sorry, The Mist. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
No, easy mistake.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I could have just let you keep.
You could have, and then it would have made no sense. But The Mist. Really liked those big, weird feet, weird faces.
In the book, they made that thing seem a lot fucking bigger.
Dude, that was big.
It was really big, but in the book, he couldn't see the top. He couldn't, he just looked up, and it was a leg that went up forever into the, clouds.
Visually, didn't we only get to see it from, a helicopter or something anyway?
In the book?
In the movie.
In the movie, we saw it from, it was a way back shot. It was that pulled back, and you saw their little Jeep.
Right.
And then this thing, crossing the road. And it was huge. It was fucking massive. And it was covered in those fucking bug things, Hold on, I'm going in.
Pop rocks? What else you got for big monsters?
So check this out. There's this fucking movie, man. This movie's fucked up. It's called Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century.
Yeti. Okay.
I saw this movie when I was a little kid, just like Q the Winged Serpent.
Remember that.
Never saw it again. Thought it was just some, I'll never know.
Of your delusions.
I'll never, yeah.
Was that real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm looking on fucking YouTube. I watch a lot of Bigfoot shit, because I'm a fucking Bigfoot fucking nut. And I see this fucking movie, Yeti.
Eventually you will stumble upon Yeti things.
Giant of the 20th century. And I hit play. And it's this fucking movie I saw when I was a little fucking kid. Dude. So, this Yeti.
Which is a white Bigfoot, right?
No. He's not white.
He's not white.
He's brown.
He's not a snowman.
Bigfoot. He's just a big Bigfoot, dude. Whoa, okay. That was a good one.
That was a bam. I thought the front of your screen just...
It almost hurt my tongue.
That was a fucking pop rock.
Yeah, it was a pop rock.
Nice.
So, he's a brown Bigfoot. He's Kong-sized.
Okay.
Kong-sized.
Big. Okay.
Yeah, 35 feet or some shit.
And how is he gonna notice?
He was frozen in a fucking glacier. So check this out. Billionaire industrialist. This is a lot like Last Dinosaur.
Okay.
So, rich
asshole.
I don't need to know his name. Donald Trump.
I said rich asshole.
So fucking Donald Trump comes down, and he, his company found this fucking thing frozen in a fucking glacier. And he's got this old buddy, this old, scientist buddy. And he's like, you need to come back and work for me and figure this out because I don't trust anybody else. Oh, I'm fucking this Keebler elf looking motherfucker.
Nice.
I'm retired. I don't fucking do that kind of work anymore. And I don't work for you because you're a fucking creep anyway. You fucking rape whatever fucking, shit you come across anyway and fucking sell it and package it and fucking you're on to the next thing. And he's like, I don't want to help you fucking, exploit this fucking creature.
Right.
And he's like, well, if you don't, it's going to be somebody else, and they're going to do it real nasty. And he's like, all right. Dude, to get this thing out of the fucking glacier, they're just, hitting it with fucking blowtorches and shit. Melting this fucking glacier. Eventually, they get him out. This is so weird, and it makes no sense, and it's it's a Canadian movie.
Okay.
It's probably from 1978, 79. Okay. Right before the 80s hit.
Okay.
You can tell by the hair.
Oh, yeah.
And they do this weird... It's, again, bad movie science. For whatever reason, they take this half-fucking frozen giant fucking Bigfoot, stick him in a fucking giant fucking phone booth, raise him up in a fucking helicopter to what would be his natural elevation... because he's supposed to live in the Himalayas, and then they electrocute him in this box to get his heart started. It'd be a good idea to all of a sudden wake up a fucking 35-foot Yeti in a fucking glass fucking telephone booth hanging from a helicopter at 3,500 feet. That's genius. And of course, things go bad.
Of course, immediately
he immediately gets loose and is running amok, and he ends up kidnapping the billionaire industrialist's granddaughter, and weirdly, androgynous grandson? Question mark. This boy is like weird. You'll see. You should see this movie. So again, it's like a very King Kong situation. I'm attracted to this girl. She can kind of control me situation. And just like Kong, just like the Jeff Bridges Kong, it's such a ripoff. This industrialist is going to use the Yeti to like sell shit. You know, like the gas station shit from the Jeff Bridges Kong, like the oil company shit. Right. Like putting a cardboard King Kong at every gas station is going to somehow help you sell fucking gas, but whatever. Same thing here, but they're selling like T-shirts and shit, and it's the 70s. So it's these girls are buying these T-shirts with hands like over their tits, with like, and it says something about a Yeti on the back or something. It was like there's a whole montage scene where they're selling Yeti shit, and they're making millions selling Bigfoot shit like that. Like that's a thing. Like that happens. Like they really paint the idea like they're exploiting this poor Yeti and making millions off of him when that makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
It's funny though,
but it's hilarious. Eventually, he gets loose again in the city, and it's your typical Kong story. It really is, just with a fucking Yeti. Apparently, I read a story where in Canada, where they made this movie and first released it, they made a full size like Yeti at the theater.
I love those,
and you could check it out. It was anatomically correct. There's a million stories of people walking under this Yeti and being like, "Dude, they gave it a fucking dong." Like they gave it a giant Yeti dong, dude.
People always wonder where it is, right? Where's it's tucked up in that fur?
It's tucked up in the fur. Dude.
So I gotta ask you, did you get like recruited by Demon Knight? What's going on? Your hand looks like the constellation symbols from Demon Knight. So I'm like, do I need to know something?
See that?
I do.
Yeah.
It looks like a treasure map, kind of, but I know you work at a cemetery.
I take notes on my hands, because
those are cemetery plots and pin locations.
Well, no. So me and Jim work at a cemetery, right? These are markers. Tombstones, gravestones.
Right.
Those circles are the bolt holes.
Those 4-hole slabs.
You know the holes I've been having problems with? Yeah. I measured them today and figured out what was going on. That's what those
That's what it is?
Yeah.
You literally lacked a piece of paper.
Yeah. Well, I still have this. I wouldn't have that piece of paper.
Gotcha.
It'd be a soggy fucking mess right now. This.
So you have a permanent.
I haven't. You even asked about it.
I did. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and it looked like those stars that you get around.
It did kind of look like.
And I was like, "This."
It did look like Breaker's tattoo.
I don't know what this is.
I love the sound it made when that fucking lightning strike sound that it made when the stars on his hand.
The fucking Casio keyboard whip. What about the alien queen bitch?
She's a good giant monster. I was just thinking about aliens today.
The thing that always gets me with them is the ability to handle the temperatures and the acid. The secondary mouth and the spitting, the acid. Mm-hmm. That's way more terrifying to me than something that has the ability to tear down a building.
Yeah, I don't want to be able to. You can't fight it, really.
Right.
You just got to get out of its way. It's
like I loved how they attacked each other to get out of that holding cell. The stupid
in
one
Resurrection.
The one was Winona Ryder.
Yeah. It's not a bad.
I thought it was great how
I like Resurrection.
Two of them teamed up on the other one to just
and they
escaped.
Bit his guts out and had his guts melt their way through the floor, and they got out. And
the floor.
They were thinking, they were thinking, man. I really like the Aliens movies a lot.
The big giant I don't remember if you said you saw it or not. I can't remember if you said you didn't like it. But Aliens versus Predator.
I like
the big queen bitch. that's like locked down there when they
you know
wake
what?
her up.
It's a guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure. I'm a dick. I'm a comic book dick. I thought that first Aliens vs. Predator comic,
dick.
That should have been
Deadpool 2.
I didn't love it.
You didn't.
I liked it.
You didn't love it.
No, I didn't love it. No. But because I have bones to pick with it. You know, it's like, man,
I'm not a comic book guy anymore.
Fuck you. They fucked over my Shatterstar, dude. They fucked Shatterstar so bad.
You mean Rufio?
He looked really bad, and his swords weren't right. His swords didn't look right.
You can go on this one.
Yeah, fucking.
Tell me another monster.
You know what? You know what's a giant monster that I really like that I didn't consider to be a giant monster until I was making my list?
Okay.
Is the Blob.
That's a giant monster.
It is, man.
It is.
It's a giant snotty fucking monster, dude.
It is.
The Blob is good. The Blob's a good fucking remake, actually. I like that 1988, 87 remake
I liked
of The
it
Blob. Too. Fucking good.
It was good.
The Blob remake is one of those remakes that might be as good or better than the original. I think it's better.
There's a few of those.
I think it's better. I think the Blob remake is way fucking better than the Steve McQueen original. There is some fucking gnarly fucking horror in that fucking movie, dude. There is some images in that fucking movie that fucking when that one boy is like melting, like it falls from the Blob falls from the ceiling onto that kid, that football player, and he's just like disintegrating under this like veil of snot with one arm sticking out,
Nickelodeon slime,
and he's like, ah! And you see him just getting smaller, you know, and that girl grabs the one arm that's not covered in shit and pulls until it just slurps off, and she's sitting there holding this hand, this arm, and there's
the cover of the box is his hand coming out of the blob.
The cover of the box was like him like in his face covered like
stretchy snot.
Fuck, dude, it was so fucked. I like it when it covers the fucking phone booth and the waitress is floating around in it. Or no, it's the waitress in the phone booth. And the fucking sheriff is floating around in the bumping up against the planet.
Yeah, I just watched that recently.
Did you?
Within like the last month.
Fuck, really?
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. No way, man.
For like the first time, I'm pretty sure too.
That's really?
Yeah, the remake one.
It's good, man.
It was good. It was really good.
It's good. It kind of explains where the blob came from for the first time.
It was a shooting star thingy-majiggy.
It was a fucking satellite. It was something we sent up there. We sent bacteria up there just to see what space would do to bacteria. You know, radiation, space radiation and shit. What's it going to do to, you know?
Watch out.
And then it comes back and it's this, you know, fucking angry little fucking snot.
Right.
You know? It was, I really like that movie. So, let's see. Let me go through. Yo, you know what is a fucking giant monster movie that should have fucking happened, that didn't fucking happen, that would have been fucking great if it happened?
So it wasn't a giant?
This movie didn't get made.
Okay.
It was gonna be, it would have been one of Hammer's last movies.
Okay.
Hammer Horror, just right
Hammer
before they got shut down, I think in the late 70s. We're gonna make a movie called The Beast of Loch Ness. They were gonna make a Loch Ness monster movie. Can you imagine Hammer making a Loch Ness fucking monster movie? That would have been rad, dude.
Do you know they're doing something with Loch Ness again right now? They're like
no.
They're down there taking like water samples, something DNA samples, some shit of the water, and they're gonna run it and see if this thing ever existed in any manner.
Really?
Technology's caught up enough again to check it out.
They're testing something new.
Something, yeah.
Well,
somebody's back at it.
You know, that
would be a cool movie.
Loch Ness Monster?
Sure.
I don't think they've made a good Loch Ness Monster movie. Not that I've seen. And that's like perfect material for a fucking horror movie. The Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah.
Dude.
it's so untapped. It doesn't have to look like Nessie. It can be really cool looking. Kind of like that host movie kind of thing. Maybe.
Well, yeah, you can give your own. You can totally put your own spin. You can make it whatever you want.
Kinda, with the parameters, right?
What's another one? Troll Hunter was a good giant monster movie.
Dude,
Recent
it was. That was a great payoff.
Such a great movie.
Such a B movie turd from the box look. I steered clear of it forever because I thought it was some Sci-Fi Channel piece of shit.
Right.
I really liked it. When you first see one of those trolls move and it's the size of a fucking tree and shit, that was fucking
super cool. They were rad looking trolls, man. They were really cool looking.
It was the real, I don't know the term, soft special effects. It was subtle.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. That was a good one.
Tremors.
See, I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah.
Tremors falls into that
category. There's a couple of those worms that were pretty goddamn big. That's a good one.
Tremors is fun. I have a lot of fun watching Tremors. I remember watching Tremors for the first time when I was 12 and really digging it. Digging it. A lot.
Me too.
A lot. Being wow.
I really like Pizza
this
Night
movie.
for me, man. I loved renting that movie.
Super cool movie. Deep Rising is another giant movie for sure.
Excuse me, jeez.
Yeah, I know.
Deep Rising, you just recently made me watch.
I did. I made you watch.
You did. You even sent me the link because I was going to put no effort.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch Deep Rising.
It was. I'm a big fan of tentacles.
Me too.
So I
like
it.
Suckers and fucking tentacles and shit.
Scary. When I was a kid, my dad taught scuba diving.
Uh-huh.
We were scuba diving up in the Northwest, and this octopus wasn't that big. I mean, its head was small as a basketball. Its tentacles,
even
and everything. It was
small
probably
octopus.
maybe in total maybe 5 feet wide.
That's
but
a
not big.
But that's a big octopus.
Only but I'm not a lot of girth. I guess is what I'm saying. It wasn't intimidating looking
skinny.
at all. And my dad started playing with it,
okay.
Because it was just fun, whatever. And the suckers went across his mask, and I don't think it did it on purpose, but it just yanked it right off.
Right.
And then it was gone. They do their fucking blast of ink, and and they kind of turn into a squid, basically.
I'm out.
Just gone, yeah. And fucking, oh my god. My dad's whole situation with that. I was looking at him in this cloud of ink.
Just got
no
drastic.
mask. It all got fucking real,
real quick.
And it turned into to the surface.
Real
and it was
quick.
I don't know if that's what started it exactly, but I had a whole
Scuba
different
diving
respect
is dangerous as fuck.
Okay,
dude.
So you already know because I've told you a bunch of times and we've talked about it on the show. I'm terrified of Jaws. That movie literally affected me. It was real.
Me too.
It was.
Me too.
And so
I don't go in the ocean.
Dude, up in Seattle, when you go diving up there, there's a visibility of sometimes
0.
8 feet, 5 feet. Yeah. So in my mind,
it's not the Bahamas.
The giant mouth of that shark was always about 10.5 feet out.
Just out of
I just knew
sight.
My very next fucking pump with my fins, and boom,
he'd be there.
Right there.
He's there.
It kept me scared all the fucking time, dude. That was the real deal monster.
When my girlfriend
but octopuses, dude.
She asked me, "What movie do you want to see this weekend? You want to see a movie? What do you want to see?" And I said, Meg.
Ooh, is it out?
And she was like, she looked, she's like, "Oh, it's not out yet." I was
okay.
I
didn't think it was out yet either.
I was like, okay. Guess go see Deadpool.
Because I hyped it up as being so good, and I wish you went and saw Solo.
I wanted, I should. It's I should have seen Solo.
It was good.
Out of respect,
I guess, right?
I should have seen Solo. I was just so bummed I couldn't go see Meg that I wasn't thinking. But
so you're excited about that? You're ready for
it?
You're going to see it in the theater.
Talk about giant monster movies.
That's a big fucking shark, man.
Megalodon.
Right.
Finally getting
the trailer looked good.
Some legit movie. It's been in a lot of Sci-Fi Channel movies and shit. but a really good movie has not been made about the Megalodon.
No budget has been thrown at that.
And then they're doing it now, and
with a major cast.
With a big, they're throwing all the money at it.
Yeah.
It's just a $200 million movie, type
it's
thing.
Just, it's Jaws on steroids, man.
It's Jaws. It's Jaws. It's Jaws, man.
But the idea of Jaws being even fucking bigger.
Well,
Jesus
it's Jaws
Christ.
and then some. Because there's everything else that's down there with it.
Right.
It's this
it's
ecosystem that's been trapped, for millions of years.
Something falls apart and opens it up.
He's feeding, on this shit. In the books, it's like this. There's like a giant volcanic crater that's maybe that has a crust across it, and from this crust down to the bottom of the ocean is maybe 100 miles.
Okay.
And it's, I don't know, a couple thousand wide.
Okay.
So it's this contained, like, aquarium.
Right, I was going to say it's a fish tank.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
well, they call it Hell's Aquarium. It's a pretty cool title. And it's populated by all kinds of rad shit. It's not just him. It's not just the Meg that's down there.
Right.
It's all kinds of shit down there. Giant
squids are pretty terrifying.
They're there's a giant squid in the trailer. I saw that.
Yep. Pretty terrifying.
I didn't see. There's an awesome scene with a giant turtle.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. A lot of the reptiles from back in the day have evolved like amphibious like gills, like salamander gills.
Okay.
Because they're kind of closely related, they kind of evolved these gills so they don't have to come up for air. So it's like a turtle with these like rudimentary gills, but massive, like huge. And there's this awesome scene in the book. I really hope they do it in the movie where a Meg is chasing one of these giant turtles. And, they've got this underwater like lab. And, with like the dive pool, like the open dive pool.
Right.
This turtle's like just trying to get away from this fucking shark,
Right.
and it sees this like hole and just like scrambles up and out of the dive pool. And the change in pressure, this thing like boom, pop, and just muddy turtle guts like cover the entire lab, because it's a giant fucking like a 2,000-pound turtle. Right. It's like and they describe the smell, dude. If they don't do that scene in this movie, I'm going to be really disappointed. Because it looks like they're cherry picking from the 4 books. And that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't start off with a little girl and shit. I'm real excited about that movie.
The last one on my list is an honorable mention. It's kind of a rip-off.
Those are always fun. But rip-offs are the best.
I liked the big monster factor of Cloverfield. It was a big monster. It was
when Cloverfield first came out. I was real excited about that monster because I'm a monster guy. I especially love my giant monsters, and I studied that fucking monster from tit to tip, dude, from claw to claw. You know what I'm saying? Pretty cool design. They tried to do different shit they tried to make him look really alien. You know what I mean? Like his arms work different and everything's kind of different. He's clearly evolved from something else. You know what I mean? They did a good job of trying to convey that idea.
I got the idea it was definitely alien.
Yeah, for sure, right? This isn't
this isn't something we fucked up and it crawled out of our river.
No, this isn't terrestrial. Yeah. Was the idea that I got. I like that. I like that monster. I did.
Didn't get enough of it.
I didn't get enough of it either. It was too much of a movie about these people.
Yeah, that I didn't give a fuck about.
I didn't care enough.
Hoping some of them would
didn't care enough about, especially the main guy. I didn't. TJ, what's his name? Saved it for me. The guy with the camera. The guy who held the camera.
Yeah.
Is the same guy he's the bartender from Deadpool.
You're right.
Yeah. I forget TJ something.
Right.
But he gets into a lot of trouble recently, I guess. He's like shooting his mouth off in bars and shit.
Right.
But you know what? I'm sure a lot of people give him shit and say shit to him. That's probably a dick thing to say. You know what I mean? Like imagine you're at some bar, some girl's excited to meet you, you're talking to her, you actually like her, and then like a group of like 3 dickheads come over and start quoting you, but not in a nice way.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're like, look, dude, just fuck off.
Cock blocker.
And then in the paper the next day it's dude told poor guy to fucking dude told guy with cancer to fuck off. You know what I mean? Like no.
Why is that guy being such a jerk?
That's not fair.
You got anything you want to squeeze in? We're pretty
well,
much out
we
of
did
time.
Talk about The Mist.
I did like.
I did write down Spies Like Us. I don't know why. You ever see Spies Like Us? It's a great movie.
Let's sit back down. Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase.
Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase.
Spies Like Us?
Spies Like Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been talking about their remaking Spies Like Us. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the same actors?
No.
Oh, awesome.
No, like
a remake with
remaking.
2 douchebags I don't care about.
Chris Pratt and someone else. Yeah, I think the guy from The Hangover, the dentist from The Hangover, is what I heard. Yeah,
the guy from The Office. Andy. Really?
Oh,
that just sounds horrible. Why'd that make your list? How did
Spies
that
Like
land
Us?
there? Yeah.
Oh no, because I love Spies. I love Spies Like Us. I love the original.
That just landed there.
Yeah, well, I don't know, something about their. You know what it was? It was Yeti.
Okay.
And then they have that scene in Spies Like Us where they have the weird furs.
Yeah, they do. The snow outfits.
Yeah,
I remember.
I
saw that movie in the theater,
that's
dude.
how my mind
that was
works.
my childhood.
Did you see that at the theater?
Totally.
You lucky motherfucker.
It was good. I liked it.
It's a great movie, dude. Spies Like Us is
That was like, they had this thing
Go
called
watch
the
Spies
Lit
Like Us.
4. It was 4 movie theaters, like 4 separate ones going at the same time, and you could pay like one price and go see all 4 of them. It was a thing to dump your kids off in the summer.
Okay.
So, I didn't live where it was hot, so it wasn't like as excruciating be summer as it is here. But
Right.
it was a great babysitter. And like that was one of it was Spies Like Us, and
so good.
one of the Chuck Norris
Missing in
in
Action. Okay.
Yes, and
That was about the same time.
Last Starfighter, I want to say,
That makes about some sense. Yeah.
and E.T.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was E.T. Like E.T. was almost always there, though. I think it was
E.T.
the one where the girls would go watch.
They
it.
re-released E.T.
So
like a couple times.
I think we've talked about this before. I think, but I went there one weekend, and the Missing in Action movie fucked up.
Okay.
They had another movie reel that they threw on to like placate us bitching kids.
Right.
And it was a movie that was about to come out in the theaters
Oh.
and not at the cheap dollar theater where I was
Oh.
at. So we actually got to see it
Like
like
a
ahead of
good
time
movie?
without our parents and shit.
Weird.
Saw Krull. You know this fucking movie? Krull. I fucking was mesmerized. Like I wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed
Krull
to be Chuck
is
Norris
so
and shit. It was so
That's another movie that
that
they've talked
good.
about remaking. Yeah.
They're
out of
just talking
ideas.
about making every movie.
They're out of ideas. They're out of ideas, dude.
I wanted that Krull
The Glaive.
knife. Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called. Yeah.
See, you're such a nerd that you know that. I love it. The glaive. Yeah, I wanted that.
Yeah.
Like a whole bunch of knives coming out of a
So
giant
cool, dude.
Chinese star-looking frisbee. It
Dude,
was
the
like,
Cyclops guy in that movie, he was cool, man.
That was cool.
Fucking super cool character. The Krull was like if you took Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and fucked them together, you get Krull.
you think?
Rewatch
And
it.
accidentally landed on
Rewatch
Space
it. When was
Bandits?
the last time you saw it?
years, dude.
Watch it, because that was the impression I got. I was like, this is
what I
Ice
remember
Pirates.
from it.
Okay. It definitely has an Ice Pirates vibe. I won't say it doesn't. Ice Pirates is some fucked up shit. It is some fucked up. I love Ice Pirates so much.
Space herpes.
Space
Never forget that
herpes.
when I was a kid. I had to ask my parents what it was.
Okay,
What's
real
that
quick.
mean? Okay.
Anything Ray Harryhausen. Anything. Anything with Ray Harryhausen's name on it, watch it. Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
I was going to bring that up too.
20 Million Miles to Earth.
Sinbad is great for
Mysterious Island. Yeah, all the Sinbad movies are great for.
But that one, the one that you just said,
Eye of the Tiger. That's
good.
The one that had the
was like
saber-toothed tiger fight with the like.
And it had the metal bull dude, right? Too, like the gold.
Oh yeah,
bull guy that like he sunk their ship or some shit.
Talos. That's in. Fuck, the one with Hercules and.
Is that where he's going to find
Jason and the Argonauts?
Is it?
Yep. Talos is in Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, because I watch it almost every week.
Okay.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, because I love me some Talos. I think Talos is my favorite Ray Harryhausen creation. I do. That giant bronze guy.
Yeah.
He's rad, man. Cool. I love the sound that he made when he was moving. Like,
dude, right? That's not from Sinbad?
No. That's Jason and the Argonauts? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
I own both of them. I should know.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, yeah. You should watch it.
I don't feel good, so it's not my fault.
Nobody feels good when it's 120 fucking degrees and you gotta go work in that shit. Holy fuck.
Gray matter boiling.
Killing me, dude. I don't think there's anything else I need to mention besides maybe Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
God, I just have to mention it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because that's
an honorable mention.
It's for sure Guillermo's love letter to all these movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? All these movies. More. You know what?
The giant tentacly beast that's coming out from Hellboy. In Hellboy.
Oh, the Cthulhu-y looking monster. That's definitely a giant. There's a lot of. You know what? There's a few giant monsters in both Hellboy movies.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, now that I think about it.
There's some good.
There's that cool elemental tree
thing.
Yeah,
that thing is cool.
That was
really cool. I'm all earthy, so I loved that thing.
Great monster. Yeah, you're a plant guy.
Yeah,
I probably like that monster.
Did.
And then there was that like mountain monster at the very end. He just looked like a mound of rocks until he started moving. He was like a gate. He had like a gateway in him or something.
Yeah.
Cool. I like. You know what? Sometimes I'll be driving with my girlfriend down northern to her house at like 6:30, and I'll see South Mountain, like that mountain range.
Yeah.
And I was driving. It was maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "What if that just got up? What if it just went?
Right.
Like holy fuck!" And she just looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" I was like,
that would be really cool.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Would be really cool.
Wouldn't that be, like put that in a movie?
That would be awesome.
Like
didn't that happen in like one of the Lord of the Rings movies? Like
I want to say yes, but not on the scale that I was imagining when I was driving home the other day. But like imagine that
like the side of the building
strip.
just or the side of the mountain just starts getting angry and throwing.
Oh, that was in The Hobbit.
Right?
That was in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
That was in the first one, I think. The mountain giants.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, we're like throwing boulders at each other.
Yeah, giant snowball fight.
Super cool. That was. Yeah, there's a lot of giant monsters in Token.
The fucking Balrog.
A lot. There's so many giant monsters in Token, dude. A lot.
Smog.
That's a whole other fucking.
It is.
Ball of wax.
All right. You ready to get on with it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Talk to you fools next week.
Rodan. That's another one. Fucking Rodan. Watch Rodan.